said EBT was back? Because whoever said that lied. You lied. If y'all gonna speak something, speak it truthfully.
You know what? I really hate to say this, but I hope they do dismantle the whole SNAP benefits program. Because a lot of y'all are lazy. Like, let's just really face it.
God.
Danielle Grant is starving.
You know, I'm trying to see if I can get some food. Because we literally don't have anything to eat today or tomorrow. So we're going to try to make ends meet and we can. But it's like, they're not going to let people starve. That's ridiculous. You know, but it's like, no, that's literally like what's happening.
The EBT community is all messed up right now. Trump making it to where if you want those benefits, you got to reapply. And if you don't qualify, you're not getting no food. We're about to talk about it, but before we do, I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Starve people. Now they want to starve them again. The Trump administration just floated a plan to force every single SNAP recipient, seniors, parents, disabled people, low-income workers, to reapply from scratch to prove they deserve food. Not because there's evidence of mass fraud. No, not because it helps families, but because starving people is now a political tactic. They already cut off full benefits during a government shutdown they created. They already told states to undo approved November benefits. And now the next step, make millions of vulnerable Americans jump through impossible hoops just to keep basic groceries. This isn't about efficiency. This isn't about fraud. This isn't about anything else. This is about punishment. This is about humiliation. This is about reminding poor people that their survival can be taken away at any single moment.
Begin with the return of SNAP benefits after the end of the government shutdown. But the Trump administration says recipients may have to reapply for the program to cut down on fraud. Fox 26's Angie Rodriguez is in studio this evening to share the latest. Angie.
Yeah, good evening, Tom. The Houston Food Bank says they have helped over 25,000 people so far this year, not including an event that they had earlier today. They tell me they're expecting an increase in the amount of people they help as the holidays linger closer and closer. As the holidays creep around the corner, so does a new deadline for SNAP recipients to reapply for their benefits. This comes just after millions receive their first partial payment for food in weeks.
It's looking like people not gonna get their way after all. Everybody was expecting the food stamps to be back on their card, but in order for that to happen, you gotta go through hoops of fire. And even if you do get the money, it's not gonna be like it was before.
I feel like these people sit around and try to think about how they could make poor people mad or how they could make poor people's lives worse. Because nothing that these people have ever come up with or put in place make any kind of sense. Now, according to the article that I read, they found 186,000 people who were receiving food stamps that were deceased. Now, this can only happen if the people were elderly or if they died from some sort of tragic accident and the family doesn't come in and report that they're dead. So instead of fixing the broken system, you make people reapply. And how is that fixing fraud? And then they want to talk about saving taxpayers' dollars. You want to save taxpayers' dollars? Then figure out how are people able to steal people's food stamps online before they even had a chance to spend it. And then the system now has to come and reimburse people food stamps that somebody else stole. Because this makes no sense. People already have to reapply every 6 months and every year in order to continue getting their benefits. So the only people who kind of get a little leeway is the elderly because they're older. They may not can come in as much as the other people can. So I could understand and see where that 186,000 fraud stuff come in. Then another thing, if they're going to implement this, then they need to pay them case managers more money. Because a lot of them are making just above minimum wage, and they're not getting paid enough to deal with all the drama that doing this is going to come with. Pay them people more money, because this right here is bullshit.
Y'all, I woke up this morning about to go spend my food stamps on my food stamp card. Check my balance, it said zero balance. So I checked my transactions. Somebody used my food stamps in the middle of the night while I was asleep. When my food stamp card got loaded, somebody went shopping twice.
And they even spent the last $1.30 that was on there. They didn't leave a penny on that card. And whoever's doing this scamming shit, stealing these food stamps cards, ought to be ashamed of themselves. Because I need my money. I need my food. So for y'all to steal from a 60-year-old woman, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And I hope God takes good care of you. Yeah, I hope you get whatever you got coming to you. And I hope they catch your ass.
I'm irritated. I woke up and now my EBT cannot purchase me no soda, no candy, no chip, no ice cream, no dessert, no nothing. And this not even really about me because I'm fortunate enough that if push comes to shove, I don't have to use that EBT. It's not even in my name. It's not my EBT part. I don't make enough that I can afford my groceries, but I make enough that if I gotta eat, then I can eat. But I'm thinking about people who don't even live within 5 miles of a grocery store. People who go and do their grocery shopping at the corner store because that's what's closest to them. And there's nothing for another 10, 15, 20 miles. And nobody has a car. Everybody has to take the bus. So you can only go to where the bus takes you. And heaven forbid if you're disabled and cannot get there. And you don't have a caregiver or the necessities that you need to be able to make shit shake. No EBT. Like, and I understand, like, okay, you can still buy your necessities. You can still buy your little pasta and your bread and your meat. But what about diabetics? What about the people who need the shit? Like, I don't understand. What's gonna... I don't understand why the baby can't have no chips. Why the baby can't have no chip? Why can't we have a soda? Like, poor people are not allowed to have anything. Like, I hate when people make a thing about poor people finding joy. They all like, well, you can still buy your meat. You just can't buy no soda. You can only buy necessities now. You only need necessities anyway. Bitch, ain't your kids eating big Texas and them? Big honey buns and all that other nut shit? You take them to the gas station in your suburban neighborhood and they run up your wallet, not your EBT, your wallet, because you make enough that you don't need no EBT. But I can't have a sweet treat. My mom gave me $2. She said I could spend $2 off the EBT and I could go to the corner store and get me something to eat. And I can't get my chips because y'all said I can't buy them no more. I don't understand, y'all. Poor people deserve to have shit too. Like, that's why I be shutting up about a lot of conversations. Like, y'all talk about the lady who lived in a hotel and her husband got that PS5. I'm sure he's not the only one using that PS5. They got 6 kids. And that's not to say that they couldn't have spent that money on something else and that they doing it the right way and all that other shit. But I'm saying they are allowed to have nice things. Even if it was gift. You don't know where the fuck the PS5 came from. If the bitch can't pay their bills, where do y'all think they get money to pay? Hello? What's not clocking to you, Steven? Like, it's not... Anything a poor person has, they had to make something shake to get it, bro. It really... I don't know why y'all don't understand that. It's not like every poor person in the world just has money that was spent frivolously, and that's why they got in the ass. Because that, you know that's not how I go. I'm a paycheck away from being put out. You're a paycheck away from being put out. Matter of fact, you stay at home with your mama, and your mama is itching to put you out. Wait for that check to be short. She's going to put you out. I don't understand it, y'all. I don't understand it.
This weekend, full SNAP benefits started being loaded back onto Hoosiers' EBT cards.
The state confirmed to 13 News that it started issuing those payments Saturday. We know about 600,000 Hoosiers rely on these benefits to feed your family, so most have only had partial benefits or none at all due to the government shutdown.
Before this weekend, Indiana issued about $59 million in SNAP government benefits. That's about half of the amount typically handed out. So if you or someone you know is still in need of food assistance, we have resources for you online at WTHR.com.
They're not keeping it straight with the people. They don't have the money to give if they're playing all these games. Usually that's the case. When people ain't got the money, they got a million excuses to why they can't give you the money. Then they turn around and try to make it seem like it's your fault. They can't give you the money. But at the end of the day, if you're making your own money, you wouldn't be having these problems.
Did y'all hear this bull crap about the new SNAP benefits rules? Now, 43 million Americans who receive SNAP benefits are now going to have to refile for SNAP benefits in the near future. And when I say the near future, I mean the very, very near future. Very fast. Maybe before 2026. Now, mind you, this is the end of November of 2025 almost, which means we got 1 month left. This is nothing but another way for the President of the United States to still accomplish his goals, guys. This is nothing but another way for them to stop SNAP benefits, food stamps, housing, Section 8, the daycare expenses. This is just another slick way of them doing it. They said, well, we can't find a way to just stop the SNAP benefits completely. So let's find a way to filter it all out legally in a slick fashion, guys. The government is so crooked, man. When have you guys ever heard them pulling a stunt like this, where all recipients has to reapply for it? Now, they do have what they call a every 3 month or every 6 month recertification. Basically what happens is you have to go get recertified every 3 to 6 months to see if your financial status has changed, if you're making more money, if you're making less money. But in most cases, it's all about taking the benefits from you and giving you less and less and less every time you go get recertified, guys. This is the case. This is a situation that the government is pulling in a slick fucking way just to still cut people completely off.
Okay, so it went into effect. My dad, who is 66 years old, he did not receive his SNAP benefits today. And he only has 1 pack of bologna and a bag of hot dogs and some bread. So I have to go and take him to get him some food. But it is really sad how individuals are on here and really happy about people losing their SNAP benefits. It is a lot of families that really are in the jam. I will say that for those that are fortunate and you have family that's going through that, please help the best you can. Just help. Whatever you can afford. If there's no food stamp situation, it's not teaching women nothing else. It's teaching you to get up off your ass and go work and go figure it out for you and them babies, because them babies do not deserve to live a hard life, and neither do you. Everybody has gotten too daggone lazy. You got some kind of creative space. Work anywhere. I got on buses. I worked jobs I didn't want to work jobs at to feed my children and make sure they had a decent life. And I kept evolving. It's no excuses out here. Nobody is going to save you. Not the government, not Kamala, not Trump, not state officials. Nobody but yourself. You got to save yourself. Period. And save them babies. Get to it.
All right. So this morning I just got up and my kids asked for a snack. So I pulled out some snacks or whatever. Ty, let's go. You want juice?
Yes.
What else you want? You want chips? Yep. You want candy?
Yes.
What kind? We got different kinds of candy. You say what? Talk up so I can hear you. What you said? What kind you want?
Freeze sour strips.
Sour strips?
Yeah.
Okay, boom. You want fruit roll up?
Yeah.
Here you go. You want a muffin? Yeah. All right. Milk, let's go. You want the juice?
Yes.
Okay. You want some chips? You want popcorns? You want candy?
Yes.
What kind you want? We got different kinds. We got lemonade.
Dried sour strips.
You want freeze-dried sour strips too? Here you go. You want fruit roll-up?
Yes.
You want muffin?
Yes.
All right. Y'all say thank you to Trump. This This one passed at the Family Dollar store. They let us buy some snacks off our food stamps at the dollar store, so we got lucky. This one for Walmart right here. These from Family Dollar store. So thank you, Trump. Say thank you, Trump, y'all.
Thank you, Trump.
That's what we talking about. You feel me? All right, y'all stay tuned. Love y'all.
For the people that was able to use their food stamps before it disconnected, I know that food is old and moldy right now, and it's time to re-up. But the only way you're going to be able to re-up is if you reapply.
Now they're trying to make everybody reapply for their food stamps benefits, bitch. Are you kidding me? So y'all know this whole food stamp debacle. First they was not giving it. Now they giving it or whatever. Then they said they wasn't giving the percentage. Now they saying they giving all of it. I don't know. It's too much damn back and forth. They playing with too many people's livelihoods, if you ask fucking me, bitch. But anyway, so now they're trying to say that everybody that receives EBT food stamps benefits have to reapply, as if they don't do that already every 3 to 6 months. Am I correct? So why do they have to do their application? This is just prolonging the process of people getting their benefits and people getting their food for the holidays. It's like y'all buying time because y'all done spent the money or y'all don't have it. Y'all trying to make up for it. Or y'all just doing it on purpose and being spiteful and mean and evil. They saying it's because it's like over, I think, 100,000, 200,000 deceased people receiving food stamps benefits. Talking about, oh, it's a part of a scam and all this extra stuff. But y'all don't be saying that when the deceased people be getting their Social Security. And the way y'all been cracking down on people and their food stamps and how they qualify, how is deceased people even receiving food stamps? Because now, to even get approved, you got to talk to an agent or talk to a representative. So I'm confused. I don't know. It's a plot and a scheme set up by Todd, bitch.
What kind of fraud are they talking about?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. So it's not 100% clear exactly what the Secretary is planning to do yet. We haven't heard back from USDA when we sent them an email to request more details. Because SNAP participants are already required to recertify their application information every 6 to 12 months. And they're also required to update work history, income, et cetera, to make sure that they're still qualifying for SNAP along the way, or they'll get kicked off the program. So a lot of the fraud that Republicans, including Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, are talking about is cracking down on folks receiving SNAP who aren't working. Or what Secretary Rollins has said is she wants to make sure, and the president said earlier this week, is that the administration wants to make sure that the folks who are receiving SNAP benefits are those who truly need it, in their words. So Republicans have already sought to crack down on error payments, which are just miscalculations from SNAP administrators, et cetera. So we have to stay tuned and figure out exactly what the department is planning on this.
Yeah, Secretary Rollins this week said that 186,000 deceased men and women and children are receiving a check. They say that's coming through SNAP, and they are citing data from 29 states that complied with the USDA's request for information. So Secretary Rollins is teasing an eventual announcement to basically overhaul the SNAP program in the coming weeks. Do we know how the administration is preparing for this overhaul? If you could expand on that, what are they researching?
Yeah, absolutely. It's still a little bit unclear if this reapplication for benefits is something that the Secretary is looking at in terms of her overhaul. Republicans already passed a $186 billion cut to SNAP in their reconciliation package earlier this year. So a lot of the GOP priorities that we've seen come up in agriculture policy discussions in the last few years have already really been passed through that reconciliation process. That includes restricting work requirements, making sure that, just cracking down on folks who have children, changing the age of what they describe as a child to make more people subject to work requirements. So a lot of folks will already get kicked off of the program at that point. So it's not 100% clear yet exactly what else the administration has planned. The reapplication piece could be a key part of that, or some other, new paperwork requirement for folks. What has come across to me in my conversations with Republicans is that their top priority is to make sure that undocumented people and only American citizens are receiving SNAP, which is the current law. But they also want to, address that as well.
Okay, so yesterday I made a video about a girl being on here crying about losing her food stamps and how was her kids going to eat and all these things. And in my video, I was just, because I went to her page and see that she was physically able to work, with school age kids. And so I just said you could just go to work. And a lot of y'all was commenting, oh, a lot of people got jobs and still are on food stamps and, all these things. So what? Still go to work. And I'm an individual. I've never had food stamps. I've always made too much money. But you can still utilize food banks, food pantries. I volunteer every single week. So I know there's literally resources out there. To get on the internet crying, saying they're losing their food stamps on November the 1st. How are my kids going to eat? That's diabolical. Do you understand me? There's so many resources. I would prefer to see a video and be like, okay, I'm losing my food stamps, November the 1st. This is really sad. It will be a damper on your lifestyle and a damper on your ability to provide. But I want to hear other resources come out your mouth, not just crying about how your kids are going to eat because you're losing food stamps. You understand me? So no, I cannot relate. I grew up on food stamps on a family of 12. You understand me? I understand the benefit of it. And when my mama didn't have enough, because we never lost our food stamps per se, but the food stamps did not stretch throughout the month until the next month food stamp amount, right? So you know what we did? We were standing, me and all my mama's kids and everybody that was there, we were standing in line at the food pantry. You understand? Each kid had a bag for us to get something, canned goods, rice, beans, whatever. So no, you're not going to be eating the best without your food stamps, but you still going to eat. And I feel like that's what some people are missing. Or you can go get a part-time job at a restaurant and ask them, can you take the remaining of the food home? I work at a restaurant. I don't cook. There's food at the restaurant. I'm not doing it. You understand? So it's just like there's things that you can do to provide resources for your children. But to get on the internet and just simply cry about how are your kids going to eat because you don't got food stamps, I'm going to need you to put 2 and 2 together and figure it out for your children. If you're not going to figure it out for yourself, figure it out for them kids.
Can you believe it's 2025? We got all this amazing technology, flying cars, and people still crying about EBT and food stamps. I guess they figure if we don't cut this program now, people will never be able to advance. People got all that free food in their hut, living like they in the Stone Age. And I understand you got to do what you got to do to survive. But scamming and scheming is not the only way to get by.
Y'all crack me up with assuming everybody that gets food stamp is just poor and just doesn't work and just... Let me get in... Listen, I think it's so funny because I literally work with people who think the same way and it cracks me up. First of all, you can't even get food stamps unless you can prove that you are under the poverty line. Under the poverty line, meaning that you have to make less than somebody who is poor. So you're like below poor to even receive food stamps. So there's that. And then if you make even $1 over what they want you to make for your household, then they cut it off. So... And then not everybody even gets the full amount that they can get for their household. Like let's say that a household of 5 can get up to $1,400. Well, depending on how much your job pays you, you might be getting $400, $300. You might not be getting that full amount. And then outside of that, it supplements about $6 per meal per person per day. How many of you spend $6 on a meal? So just think about the fact that it's not going to even last all month anyways. You have to shop very smart in order for however much food stamps you get to last all month. So majority of people on food stamps are spending cash on food just like you. The difference is they don't have as much liquid cash as you, so they would not be able to feed their kids the full month if they were strictly going off of their cash, which is why they're able to get a supplement. Supplement does not completely pay for everything. Not to say that there aren't people who don't work, but there's also different circumstances for that as well. And it's not up to you to decide what somebody is able to do. If someone is able to work or not, you're not the one that decides that. But anyways, there's a lot of people who work, business owners. There are people who work 9-to-5s. There are people who deliver groceries or who work for the state, like people who do things like that, who still qualify for food stamps. So if you're the type of person who feels like just because someone qualifies for food stamps, they're lazy, you don't even realize that they might work more than you. They might work harder than you, but it's just the fact that they either have more children than you or their income after paying their bills is so low that they can't even afford food after that. So if you find pleasure in the fact that those kind of people are not able to buy food with the government shut down, I think that is that shows how inhumane you actually are, especially if you're a follower of Christ, because I don't understand how anybody can celebrate the fact that someone is not going to be able to have some assistance that is helping them. If you don't qualify for housing assistance or for food stamps or for medical assistance, you should count that joy, because even people who qualify for it still have to rub pennies together. So they don't have more money than you because the government is helping them. The government is helping them because they have less money than you. And your money is not paying their bills because they're taxpayers too. You can't even get food stamps if you don't have a job. You can get food stamps for 3 months if you don't have a job. Outside of that, you have to actively show that you're searching for a job every single week, or you have to be working. You can't just sit on food stamps without a job. If you have kids under the age of 18 and there's a specific reason why you can't work or you're disabled, then yes, you can be on food stamps without working. But majority of people on food stamps are working 40 plus a week. So people who don't even qualify for it, or who have never had to go through the process to try and get it, or who don't have to recertify every 3 months, or who don't have to deal with the state all in their business, your opinion on this doesn't matter. And you shouldn't be posting videos about something that you don't even qualify for, that doesn't even apply to you. That's my opinion on that whole food stamp thing.
Are y'all using y'all EBT card correctly? Because I just want to make sure y'all getting all the benefits. When I tell you EBT have so many offers on that Propel app, I mean, if you're trying to be a CNA, they help with that. You trying to get Amazon cheaper, they help with that. Even Walmart has offers for EBT. I know a lot of people have their card and never use any of these things, but when you on low income, they try to help you the best way they can. A lot of people don't want to call and ask and, do the homework on it, but it's most definitely worth it. If you download the Propel app, you will be able to see a lot of the offers that they are offering y'all just in the app. It is hard out here right now, and I feel like if they offering some benefits, y'all better be taking them. Call the number that's on the back of your card, or if you have a number directly to your caseworker, ask them. It is their job to let you know about any offers that EBT has, even down to the internet. $10 internet? Oh, okay.
I don't understand this, and I don't know if any of the rest of you are upset about it, but I've been seeing so many women on Instagram and TikTok saying that they're mad because Trump is taking a lot of their food stamps, SSI, away from them, and many of them have got 5 to 10 kids. They don't work, and drawing $5,000-$6,000, and one of them even had a BMW. I don't drive no BMW, and I paid for my truck. I work. I've been working since I was 12. I grew up on a farm. I grew up poor. I put myself through school. What's going on here? That people have the mentality that we're supposed to keep you up, and you're raising your kids to continue this? It's just wrong. You people need to wake up, and you need to get up and get out if you're able to. You don't have a physical or mental disability, and get a job like the rest of us. That's just how it is.
So my husband just told me that I need to get a job so that I could go 50-50 with him on bills. I told him that I don't want to work because if not, I'm not going to get no more EBT or cash assistance. Why would I want to work and lose all my state benefits? That doesn't make sense to me. I get $1,200 in cash assistance and $3,700 in food stamps. You do the math. He's telling me that, we need to go 50-50 because he's tired of having to pay all the bills and I don't do anything around the house. So I told him, okay, you're lucky that you don't have to pay a dime for food, because if not, then there would really be an issue. He wants to take away my cash assistance. And I told him, absolutely not. What am I going to stay with? He's like, at least help me with half of that money put towards the bills. And I told him, no, I'm not going to do that. That's my money, so I could have fun and do what I want to do. I also lied to him and told him that I don't get no more child support because he wanted me to give him that money. And I told him no. I just told him that they dropped the case because the kid's children passed away.
EBT, Tisha, LaQuisha, Jaquan, Pookie, Day, all y'all. I'm talking to y'all, man. It's time to get together and start a business. And I ain't talking about making big fried chicken dinners, catfish dinners. Everybody can't be Keys Loaded Kitchen. I ain't talking about getting on Instagram or starting a YouTube channel. Y'all gonna have to figure something else out. It's time to come together, put our heads together, no Diddy, and figure out what we gonna do, because the food stamps about to be gone.